Good morning from the beautiful. I really should do some research on what these places are actually called before I hit record. Lofoten or Lofoten, the Lofoten Islands, maybe. The last time you guys saw me, I was roughly around here and I was waiting to get on a ferry to take me across to these islands. Well, that worked out as planned. I got on that boat yesterday evening and it was about a 3.5 hour sailing. I arrived when it was dark, so I got some sleep, and we are starting today's journey from the bottom of these islands. The plan is to drive the entire length of the islands and then back onto the mainland, but the problem is not only do we get less daylight hours when you're up this far north, but storms are brewing out at sea and they're due to hit the islands either later on tonight or tomorrow morning. So we are now in a little bit of a race against time, because once the storms hit, that means I can't get the drone up in the air, and that is the whole reason why I wanted to come here. So right now I've got the destination in the sat-nav as a football field. It's a famous football field. When we get there, hopefully I can show you and you might recognise it. And that's about 2.5 hours away, but with all the stops I'm hoping to make along the way to fly the drone is probably more like 3.5 hours. So for now, I'm going to get some miles under the belt, and I hope you guys enjoy the view. Sat-nav says we're going to be there in 10 minutes and we are rapidly losing daylight. It's taken a lot longer than I predicted to get here because of the amount of times I've stopped. And I still want to stop more, like right now for example. I mean, look at that mountain in front of us. But I have to get this drone shot of the football pitch. Now it's hard to tell when the sun is actually going to drop below the horizon, because it's not like in the UK where it just goes straight down. It sort of knocks about a bit just above the water. But I predict when we get to the pitch, we're going to have about 5 minutes to fly the drone and get the shot. Brilliant. The only traffic lights I've come across on the entire trip happen to be right here, where we don't need them. So the sun might have slipped from our grasp, but the main thing is, I am here. I first saw this football pitch on one of the Top Gear episodes. It was one of the specials that they did quite recently. And obviously in the summer, when the grass is showing, it looks a lot more prominent. But give me the choice and I'd be here in winter over summer any day. But it's not just the fact that I've made it to the pitch, it's all the things that I've seen on the way here. It's always about the journey, not the destination. And this whole place is just incredible. Now, it's hard to tell exactly where the middle of this pitch is, but I predict that right now I'm standing on the centre spot. So I am calling this another mission complete. From here, I don't really know what to do. On the way in, I drove through a nice little sort of villagey town, and it looked like a place that I wanted to explore, but with the weather getting worse in the morning or possibly later tonight, there is a chance that they might shut some of the roads, and the last thing I want is to be stranded here. I mean, let's be honest, there are worse places to be stranded, but I still have a lot more that I want to go and see and a lot more that I want to go and do. So the question remains, now what? I think I'm going to head a little bit further up through the islands and find somewhere to stay for the night, and then I'll formulate some sort of plan for what I can get up to tomorrow. I've just come a little bit further up the road. I was trying to find somewhere to park up that was nice and flat, and I have failed. You probably can't see a lot right now, neither can I, to be fair. It's probably not focusing too good either, but since I am parked, I thought I'd stretch my legs, and also I'm going to make some food because I'm absolutely starving, and then later on I'll go and find somewhere else to plot up for the night. I'm aware that I did say I'm going to start cooking properly in the van and making use of my induction hob, but as you know, my sink is frozen up underneath, so I can't wash anything up. And it's not just an excuse. In fact, I've got proof. I've bought some seasoning, some stuff, salsa, that's proper grown-up food, and some tortillas. I've had them since the UK, but I was planning on buying some chicken when I was over here and cooking up a storm. But instead, we're going to fashion together this exotic mix of ingredients and make our own pizzas. There's been a huge disaster. So these things here, right? I thought we'd use these as the base of the pizza. I don't know what they are, but they didn't quite fit in my tray thing. So I took a little bite off the edge, and it's a good job I did, because they're sweet. They've got a filling in them, like some sort of sugary paste. That's no good for pizza. But at least I get to show you this, right? So you know usually a ready meal, you have to pierce the lid or pull it back or whatever. This one, you don't. You leave it fully sealed for a reason. When it's ready, it will literally start screaming at us. You just wait. Listen to it. Listen to her go. I'll rescue you. That is amazing. There's a little valve on the top that lets out a C sharp, probably. Yum. I can't wait to eat this. This is going to be delicious. I found a possible new spot to park at, although now that I'm here, I think it's a possibly not new spot to park at. So there is a parking sign there with an arrow, which I'm assuming means over here, but it looks like the sort of spot that if I try and drive down it and I can't park, then I'm not going to be able to drive back up it. In fact, this is not a parking spot. This is a sheer drop into the water. There's literally just a ramp into certain death. Just there is ice cold, freezing Atlantic water. It's lucky I didn't just start driving down there. Imagine that. I got to the end and I realised I slammed the brakes on straight off the edge. By the way, a little update for you on the temperature. It's not that bad tonight. The external temperature on the van is showing at minus 9.2. So park up number 3 hasn't exactly gone to plan. It seems to be located behind a snow wall. And I don't think the van is going to fly over there. So, back to the drawing board. I don't know why this is so difficult tonight. I haven't had any problems this whole trip. The temperature has started to drop to just below minus 10 now, but we have found great success with park up number 4. Unfortunately, we are right next to the main road that runs through all of the islands, but at this time of the year, that main road isn't even that busy. But the important thing is, this is a nice flat spot, so hopefully I won't roll out of bed. As for the surroundings, I've got no idea what is around here. I don't know what it looks like because it's pitch black in all directions, but I guess that'll give us a nice surprise for the morning. So inside the van, it is 19.7 degrees. And just behind this curtain on the window here, I don't know if you can see, that is ice. So it just goes to show how important the insulation part of the van build is. I got my comfy clothes on, it's nice and warm. I was going to do some work and edit another video, but since I've now got a new data sim and my router has got a good strong signal, I think I'm going to chill out for the evening and catch up on some YouTube videos.
2-bed, proper spacious. It's a little bit more expensive. You can get places a lot cheaper. You can get places for literally like a £5 a night.
I was just sat in the van and I noticed the slightest little bit of brightness on my CCTV, whereas it's been black all night. So I've come outside because I suspect that behind me, that might be the beginnings of the Northern Lights. It's minus 15 degrees outside now. I've got no gloves on. I'm trying not to get this torchlight over there because I've got the camera on a tripod. I ran back in to get the tripod, ran back out because I don't know how long these Northern Lights are going to last for. I've never filmed anything like this, so I don't know the exact settings to use on the camera, but I have to try. I've got the main camera up on that, so I'm currently using my smaller camera. I'm going to put this light down because I don't want it to ruin the shot, but hopefully that camera is capturing some magic. I'm not even joking. I was out there for about 20 minutes. My hands have basically fallen off. I don't know why, right? It slipped my mind completely for the whole of this trip that the Northern Lights even exist. I just haven't thought about them once. I don't know why, it's just not been a thing in my head, right? And I saw it on the monitor, this little light, and I was like, what's that? And it all just suddenly clicked. I'm in the Arctic, the Northern Lights are a thing, right? And I was just like scrambling around, like, I need my proper camera because I don't know how long these things last. And I realised it's getting colder. I've got no gloves on, no jacket, and I'm just standing out there, but I'm looking at it. It was amazing, right? It was worth every second, even if my fingers don't... I can't even talk. I've gone numb. What is the time? The time is minus 15 degrees at the moment. 20 minutes equates to about... I've gone dizzy. 20 minutes equates to about 6. I've actually gone really dizzy. Okay. I have defrosted. I am alive. We are all good. That was mental. I set up a time-lapse shot and it was facing the van. Well, I'll show you it in a sec. But it was facing a van and I didn't want to walk in front of the camera to get back to the van to get my gloves or anything. And I just had to leave it. I didn't know the settings to use and I didn't know it was going to take 20 minutes. But I've just had a quick look at it on the camera. Check this out. Now that 20 minutes of standing out in minus 15 degrees might have only equated to that short clip, but I would do it again. In fact, I did do it again. I put my heated socks on and I went back outside, but this time I think the northern lights had died down a little bit. Now in that 20 minutes, a couple of cars did drive past. I hope the lights didn't ruin the shot. But when I came back in, it was minus 15 out there. It was 20 degrees in here. And it just dibbed me all of a sudden. I had to drink a protein drink and that and fix myself. But it is now 2 AM and it's definitely died down now to the point where there are no lights left whatsoever. But it also does mean a good thing. I captured it from start to finish, which is just unbelievable as well, because they are rare, even up in the Arctic like this. They don't come and go like every night. So I do count myself massively lucky for that. And whilst I was out there for those 20 minutes, I also snapped a couple of photos as well. So I'm going to stick those over on my Instagram. Go and check those out. Tell me what you think. And I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning from somewhere. I would like to have slept in a little longer this morning because guess what? I was up till about 4 AM in the end. The lights came back. They weren't quite as strong as the first time, but I still caught them on camera and it wouldn't be right if I didn't share it with you guys. But the reason why I didn't get to sleep in as long as I'd hoped for is because I got rudely awoken by a bunch of wild tourists. But what was pretty interesting is I saw them scarper over the edge of the snow wall. And they all had like proper snowshoes on and that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm kitted out to the max today. I've got heated gloves and everything. And I'll put this on when I stop filming. But they were extra prepared. They must know about something over there that I don't know about. So I'm going to go and track me some wild tourists. I'm pretty sure they scarpered over this little bit here. Yes, I can see tourist tracks. This is from their little spiked things that they need. Quite lucky I can survive out here without these. Whoa! I've never fallen into snow like that before. We're deep in the woodland now, and I think one of them may have strayed off from the rest of the group. You can see the main pathway of the pack follows this trail here, but one of them, oh, where is he? Over here, has taken a solo path up the mountain. Maybe they've had an argument, maybe he's broke his leg. And they've left him to survive on his own. We're pushing on up the trail, but we seem to keep sinking. As you can see, it only comes up to my knee. But luckily, we're not going to go much deeper than this. I've heard out here there's bears, moose, elk, and in some cases, even wombles. Whoa. I have made it to the top of the trail. Unfortunately, I think these wild tourists are just too quick in this environment. Why? I've sunk up to my hips. I fear if I keep going, I will sink up to my forehead. There's another small track which deviates off to the left a little. I fear that may be a poisonous toad. Whoa! I feel in situations like this, the only safe thing to do is spread out our body weight so there's less chance of sinking and try to survive. Luckily, I am a very prepared hiker and explorer, and I've brought some pure nutrition in a jar. This survival food claims to season all, and this definitely classes as all. Oh, we've lost the seasoning, but for now at least we can get a good healthy meal whilst we wait for the experts. I mean, I am the expert, but we wait for the wild tourists to come and rescue me. Oh, it's not easy. Possibly one of the worst things I've ever had to eat. But in times like this, it's necessary, and luckily, we have dessert. For dessert, we have a classic mix of unicorn confetti. And as animalistic as this may sound, I have to use the same spoon. The same spoon. That's how difficult conditions are out here. Oh, we've lost it. Get this bit. Oh, we've lost some more. Oh, a welcome treat. I'm literally surviving out here. You don't see anybody else pushing themselves to these type of limits out here in the wilderness of the Arctic. As for me, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. In the next episode, I'm hoping to head somewhere a hell of a lot colder and a hell of a lot further afield than this. But that depends on if we make it out of here alive.